What's up, guys? Demondre Douglas here. Today we have a review of the A15 5G. I did an unboxing and overview. I promised to download a few apps and do a few things to test the phone out. This particular variant is the Total Wireless, and I am going to show you why I have so many different reviews of the same phone. A lot of tech companies are taking their most popular phones and they're just re-releasing them with different internals. I've had one with the Snapdragon and one with the MediaTek. One with an Exynos, and this one has a MediaTek. This one has the Dimensity 6100. It has 64 gigs. It has 4 gigs of RAM. If you can, in my opinion, I recommend the Metro by T-Mobile variant because it has 128 gigs. There are also variants of this phone that have 6 gigs of RAM. As you can see, this one only has 4. However, what they all do have in common is they have a Super AMOLED screen, it's 1080p, and the cameras are pretty decent. I will go into the Geekbench for all my nerds. I ran a score. I did not do the GPU because I do not believe this device is intended for gamers. However, if you guys want it, I will do a separate gaming test. Same thing with the Antutu. But the Geekbench score for this phone is decent. It is 652 for the single core, 1738 for the multi-core. That's going to do everything that you need an average phone to do, period. Texting, watching videos, gaming, gaming is the light side. But as far as watching videos, surfing the web, getting tongue twisted here. Shopping on Amazon, Walmart, Target, if you're me, you will be able to do that with ease. I'm going to show you guys just a few sample photos that I took. This is with the portrait mode. As you can see in good lighting, I'll bring it up closer. You can get pretty good photos with this phone. Outside in daylight, I'm pretty sure it's even better. I have quite a lot of lights in here. I have 4 lights, so the more light, the better the picture is going to be. With this particular photo, I wanted to put a lot of things in the background and I wanted to check out the edge detection, and it honestly impressed me. As you can see, it cut it out pretty well. It even kept my hand in focus. Everything that is supposed to be in focus is in focus, and everything that is supposed to be blurred is blurred. Here we have a regular photo from the main cam. No portrait, no anything, and I thought this photo looked very good. I mean, obviously when you zoom in, it won't look as crisp. However, if you're doing this for social media, you're gonna be A1, you're gonna be good. This is the macro cam. It's only like 2 megapixels, I believe. It did an okay job. I mean, if you just really need to take a close-up picture of something, you will be able to see what's written on it. However, it's only 2 megapixels, so it's only so much you can expect. I did do a little research because I was curious about this Dimensity 6100. Actually, when you go on the phone, it just says MT6835, so I didn't know it was the 6100. And it's the Plus variant, which is awesome, which is definitely an upgrade. They definitely were not using this chipset a year or 2 ago in this phone. According to the AI, it's equal to a Snapdragon 695 5G, which I used on the Moto G Stylus 2022, which is one of my favorite Moto G styluses. It was very big, very heavy, very thick. However, it was awesome. I could play mad games on that chip. However, that phone came with a Adreno GPU, and this is using whatever MediaTek's proprietary GPUs are. It's a 6 nanometer chipset, which is awesome. Just if you don't know, the smaller the better. The latest flagships, the Ultras, the iPhones have 3 nanometers. But again, if you're not a nerd, it won't matter. I looked into what other phones have this chipset. The only other phone that, again, the AI would tell me was the Galaxy F15 5G, which to me is just the same phone but the international version. So instead of A for America, I just thought about that. What is the A stand? Anyway, it's F. Um, but yeah, it says the target audience is budget friendly, entry level. But I also found other pages from the same AI that was saying it was mid range. So, you know, to each their own. I don't know. The haptics on the phone feel okay. They don't feel as good as obviously an iPhone and definitely not a Pixel. So, if wherever you are and you have the opportunity to get this phone, if you can get a Pixel, I would go with the Pixel. If not, I would go with the Samsung, and after that, I would go with the Motorola. Those Apple, Samsung, and Motorola, for me personally here in America, are the only three phones I really recommend. If my friends or family ask me which phone should I buy, when they give me their options, I'm going to tell them to choose one of those. Oh, the haptics, the fingerprint scanner is awesome. It only denied me one time, and I believe that's just because my hands were a little oily, but every time you click on it, straight into the phone, no hesitation. I did not set up the face scan. I believe this phone does have face unlock. Matter of fact, let's go check. Should I may have been mistaken. Let's see. Oh, nope, there it goes. So this phone does have face recognition, which I highly recommend. It's just super convenient. However, not completely necessary since the power button is the fingerprint, which I always thought was super convenient. I actually prefer the fingerprint scanner be on the power button than in the actual screen. That's just personal preference. Um, I did the Geekbench score. Oh, the speed test. I was really impressed. I haven't set this up on the network. Probably gonna wait a couple of days, honestly. But I did connect it to the Wi-Fi. I have Verizon 5G home internet, and honestly, it just depends on what time of day you're using it. I got a download of 97.4, upload of 4.4, which I thought was really good. So the chipset, I have not obviously been able to test it on calls yet, but like when I did a test on, this is an iPhone 14 on Wi-Fi, as you can see, I did the test twice. The first time I got 54 download. The second time I got 65. Same exact Wi-Fi. I was bragging about the fingerprint scanner. I didn't want to do that. So as you could see, this Samsung pulled down more faster data, I should say, than the iPhone. So I don't know if that matters to anybody, but yeah, I mean, it's facts. It's right there in your face. Connected to the same Wi-Fi. I did the test individually, not at the same time, because some people say that makes a difference. And yeah, the Samsung actually pulled down more information faster. So that's really good for anyone who loves internet. As I said before, watching videos, browsing the web should be no problem. Um, and that's about it, guys. That's the camera. That's the chip Geekbench test, speed test. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. I would say that if you are in a low light situation, pictures are going to be a no go. Otherwise, I would be completely fine using this phone as my daily driver. Now, ask me again in a couple months. That might be different, so I will do a long-term review, as this phone is for one of the kids, so I will have it, and one of these days I will take it and just spend a whole, I won't say a week, but maybe 3 or 4 days just to see, because I know he's gonna load it up with mad games. Speaking of which, this phone comes with a lot of bloatware. All of these things are installed by default on their own. I don't even know how to play Mahjong. Block Buzz. I know a lot of people play Monopoly Go, Spades. But yeah, all of these games come pre-installed. You only have 64 gigs to work with. It does, however, take a micro SD card, so I would highly recommend you pop one of those in. I'm not sure if the phone will let you save apps to the micro SD card, but at least your pictures and videos, I know for a fact will be, and that will give you the space you need to play any games you need to play. Honestly, what stopped my gaming test is I went to go download Fortnite and found out that it was no longer on the Play Store. I guess I've been under a rock. I Googled it and found out since August 2020 there has been no Fortnite on the Google Play Store. I don't play Fortnite, however, I just thought it would be a great game to test. So yeah, if you guys would like to see a dedicated photo, video test, or a gaming test, let me know. In my personal preference, I would give this phone a 7 out of 10. If you want to be in the ecosystem and you just want to have a nice phone, I think this is it.